Picture this. It's a freezing, pitch-black Arctic night. Auroras are slicing across the sky like glowing silk. Down in the absolute freezing depths, the colossal roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil, are gripping the very fabric of the universe. This is the real domain of Odin, Thor, and Loki. But I want you to completely forget those flawless, shiny superheroes you see in modern blockbuster movies. Today, in this explainer, we're diving into the raw, brutal reality of the Norse gods. We're talking about deeply flawed, suffering beings who were literally destined to burn.
Act 1. Real Norse mythology. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this chaotic beginning. Before the earth or the sky even existed, there was just this massive, terrifying void called Ginuan Gap. And on either side, two absolute extremes of hell. To the north, you've got Niflheim, a realm of freezing fog, solid ice, and literally poisonous rivers. To the south is Muspelheim, which is just endless, raging fire and boiling lava. So the universe didn't start in some peaceful, quiet garden. It was born from the violent, explosive collision of these two cosmic extremes.
Creation from ice and fire. So when that extreme heat hit the toxic ice, the universe's very first entity was created. But it wasn't a god. It was Ymir, a giant larger than worlds, nourished by a cosmic cow. And here's where it gets incredibly dark. The first gods, Odin and his two brothers, realized that to build the world, they have to commit the ultimate act of violence. They literally murder Ymir, the universe's patriarch. It's a brutal patricide. Ymir's blood gushes out, drowning almost all the other giants and forming our oceans. The gods then butcher his corpse, using his flesh for the soil, shattering his bones into mountains, and they hoisted up his skull to create the sky we see today. Even the clouds? Yeah, those are bits of Ymir's shattered brain. Talk about a grim origin story, right?
Act 2. The flawed gods. Gods born from that kind of violence? Well, naturally, they're going to be incredibly complex and deeply flawed. Take Odin, the Allfather. He's the supreme ruler, sure, but his defining trait is this dark, terrifying obsession with knowledge. I mean, he literally gouged out his own eye just for a single sip from the well of wisdom. And to unlock the magic of the runes, he pierced his own side with a spear and hung himself from the branches of the world tree for 9 agonizing days and nights. No food, no water, just pure suffering for power. And that sets up this brilliant, tragic paradox. Odin is the highest power, yet he's easily the loneliest figure in all of mythology. He sacrificed parts of his own body to see the future, only to learn that he's completely powerless to stop his own destruction. So he wanders the human world in disguise, wearing a slouch hat and a cloak, just watching. His only real companions are his 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, Thought and Memory, who fly across the realms and whisper all the universe's dark secrets directly into his one remaining ear. Now, if Odin is the brooding intellect, his son represents pure, unadulterated physical violence, and this brilliantly illustrates the legendary, terrifying weapon of Thor, Mjolnir. Thor isn't a schemer. He's a straightforward, red-bearded powerhouse, equipped with a magic belt that literally doubles his already insane strength. When the frost giants see this hammer, they absolutely panic, because they know countless of their kind have been instantly pulverized by it. There's this fantastic dramatic tension here. You have Thor, the heroic protector of the human realm, packing unmatched physical strength, but let's be honest, he's intellectually pretty average. He's a bit of a brute. And then you have Loki. Handsome, incredibly manipulative, wielding an intellect that is literally a weapon. But underneath all that charm, Loki harbors this deep, dark abyss of anger and envy. Loki is actually the blood brother of Odin, and he's the ultimate wildcard. He's a shapeshifter, the father of literal monsters, and the absolute architect of chaos. The only reason the gods keep him around is because his cunning schemes often save them from total disaster. But the irony? Almost all of those disasters were caused by Loki in the first place. He makes the mythological world wildly entertaining, for sure, but he also makes it incredibly dangerous. Act 3. Destiny of Ragnarök. All of this chaos, all these flaws, they all point toward the most defining aspect of Norse myth, Ragnarök. In this worldview, there is no eternal paradise. Remember Muspelheim, that realm of pure fire from the beginning of time? Well, Surt, the ancient fire giant, has just been waiting there, patiently. The prophecy states that at the end of the world, Surt will march forward with a blazing sword, and the gods, they will fall one by one. It's such a profoundly pessimistic worldview, isn't it?
It's literally mutually assured destruction. The gods, the frost giants, the world tree itself, everything burns. And the craziest part is that the gods already know this. Odin paid in blood to see it coming. Yet, this is what makes them so epic. Knowing they are entirely doomed, they choose to stand their ground and fight anyway. There are no flawless heroes saving the day here. It's just a tragic, unavoidable march toward the end.
Act 4. Modern mythological echoes.
Now, what's really interesting is how these ancient, tragic figures survive today. Most of us know them through pop culture. But look at the staggering difference. We've been given this sanitized, handsome superhero Thor living in a shiny sci-fi utopia. The original text, he was a massive, quick-tempered, red-bearded brawler drinking in freezing, smoke-filled Viking halls. The modern version is polished to heroic perfection, while the original is raw, gritty, and incredibly human.
But they haven't just survived in comic books. They are literally built into the fabric of our everyday lives. Every single week, you're calling out to them without even realizing it. Tuesday is named after Tyr, the god of war. Wednesday, that's Woden's Day, Odin's Day. Thursday is quite literally Thor's Day. And Friday honors Frigg or Freya. The Viking era might be long gone, but their gods are still keeping time for us.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. We love the bright, sanitized heroes on the big screen, but the original Norse myths offer us something so much deeper, a gritty, tragic reflection of humanity facing down the inevitable dark. How do we balance our love for these shiny modern adaptations while truly respecting the dark, violent, and poetic roots they came from? Cultural heritage is cyclical, much like the world after Ragnarök. It burns, and then it's reborn. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Stay curious and keep questioning the stories you think you know.